In the shadows, deception unfolds, revealing errors in a high-stakes criminal investigation.
To roll over and say, you know what? This got out of hand. Yes, I was in the car waiting. They could lie, right? I was in the car waiting. They weren't supposed to do that. They came back out and they brought her in the car. All I was there to do was a robbery. I didn't want anything to do with this murder. But that's the thing. The more people that you have involved, it's so much better for us and law enforcement, I assure you, because somebody's going to flip and somebody's going to say, you know what, I'm going to take that risk to get that $1 million. And I'm just going to say, whatever it is. And you're right. Dead people don't talk. So that's another thing. We hope that doesn't happen. All right, let's continue.
For all I care, but I want to catch them. So what do you think about the backpack aspect?
Yeah, and there's one. I agree with you there that backpack wouldn't have just been placed on the ground randomly. In that first video, when you see him approaching the porch, there's a shadow being cast from the left to the right. All right, indicative of that motion light that was destroyed. When you later see him without the backpack on, there is no similar shadow. So you can extrapolate from that he may have had tools either to gain access or to destroy that light, which we know was indeed destroyed on that side of the house.
And I do think that he was looking down because he realized that the camera was there and he was not trying to get his eyes. Now, whether he initially looked down because he didn't want to trip is another story, but I absolutely believe he did not want to catch those eyes, because having your eyes is so telling, especially if you get DNA to match and then you find that DNA that matches and you get that picture of that person, jurors see it. And again, once you see something, you can't deny it. It's hard to unsee, even if it's not real. It's hard to unsee. It's like that whole dress scenario. Is the dress gray or is it whatever? Whatever. I'm the opposite. It's purple. No, it's gray. It's purple. That's the kind of thing that he's trying to avoid, in my opinion, by looking down. This just shows you that this person is a rookie and that they don't know what they're doing also. By having the wrong gun. We don't even know what type, or even if it is. What if that's a 3D printed one? What if it's a BB gun and they just used a holster? Nobody that knows gun safety or how to use it, etc., would ever carry like this. And you wouldn't carry it on the outside either for everybody to see. Maybe that was purposefully. All right.
So how does that fit into the accomplice theory?
Yeah, that he's passing off that equipment after he's done with it, either storing it in a car because, now it's pitch black out in front of the house. You're not just going to leave the backpack in the pitch black on the ground.
Brian Fitzgibbons, that's really astute. Let me keep looking at this while Brian talks, because I want everyone to see what he's talking about. You're right. When he walks up, there is the shadow. You can see that bright night light is on. And it's not just his bike light. It's lit up behind him, behind the bike light as well.
And that's why I believe they say it's a different night as well, because you can't see anything with the other intruder, so to speak, the one that doesn't have a backpack on, and they say it's him. It's all blacked out.
Okay. Then as you look later without the backpack, everything's dark.
Look at that.
I don't believe he climbed up and got and dismantled that nightlight on his own. That's a really good point. Joining me, Dr. Michelle Joy, forensic clinical academic psychiatrist, author of The Schmuck in My Office. You can find her at West Philly Morbid Art.
Schmuck in My Office. And can you imagine? Listen, guys, you guys gotta know. Brian is staring into my soul. You gotta understand that when somebody walks up with the backpack like that, and the way he's walking and stopping, and then you see somebody that might possibly be a second person going around. It probably is. You're telling me they carried her down the street? You're telling me that this guy parked his car, walked over there all masked up in the middle of the night up to the front door, forgot that the camera was there, pulled the shrubbery off, and he was all alone? I don't think so. I don't think so. What if it's a mace, not a gun? And that's a good possibility, but I do see a handle or a butt to it. When you look close, it absolutely looks like it could be probably a gun, but more than likely it probably is. You can see it. All right. And it's totally dark when installing autocorrect. Yeah. I remember wearing a Halloween mask and having to bend my head down to see where I was stepping. Maybe his thick head is causing him. I think he just honestly wanted to not see his eyes, because as soon as he walks up to where it starts to light up on the porch and you can see that Ring camera, he puts his head down. So, I mean, just my theory. Maybe he's trying to walk and chew gum at the same time. Who knows?
Dr. Michelle, thank you for being with us. What do you make of the psychological evaluation of whether he had an accomplice? Did he do this all on his own?
I think
yes,
there's a lot to be garnered from the video, as the other people interviewed so far have said. But I think that what makes the most sense to me is his lack of facileness with everything, right? I know that exactly that gun there. Previously, some former FBI agents had spoken about just his lack of expertise with carrying a firearm. It's kind of holstered in front of him and waving around and things like this. So I think that his lack of sophistication makes me agree with the previous person that was interviewed, was that there's someone else directing, most likely, this.
Also, I assure you, the cartel would not be putting a gun right there, pointing right at the crotch area where it's just flopping around, because you can see that the holster, or even if you can't see it and you don't know about holsters, that holster is just flapping around. That gun doesn't even fit in the holster. So as you walk, it's going to be flip-flopping because he's got it connected to his belt buckle. There's a reason they don't make it like that. All right. Maybe it's a taser. Who knows? Sophisticated or not, they haven't been found. I agree. And that's what's going to get them caught. Crazy that a man puts a gun pointing to his crotch. Every man I know protects it. That's why they don't know what they're doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. The cartel, I assure you, is going to know how to use a weapon. All right. They're not going to let it be flopping around on their junk, possibly to go off.
Because if being this bumbling, as we've used the word so far, just at the intro to the scene, you wouldn't think that he would have coordinated, anything successful enough to not only have this person, and when I say successfully, obviously tragically successfully, to, be able to extract her and to have her, disappear for this long. It just seems like something would have gone wrong from.
Now, he literally would have just been better off covering this and just smashing it down. In all honesty, you guys know how to take down a Ring camera, right? You just lift it up. It slides right on. There's like a screw into wherever it is. You got this screw that's in however you want to put it, and then it slides on top. All you got to do is slide the damn thing off. If you don't know how to slide the thing off, he's already in the perfect mode to just smash it. But instead, what does he do? He goes and walks back and grabs bushes. All right? That's not a good move. Zeros in... I'm just going to call you zeros. Synth, Jay, followers, love you all. Blessings. Jay, it's beautiful. Soul, God blessing all. Thanks for your channel. Well, thank you for coming by and being so awesome. It's a water gun. Accidentally discharge of weapons. Oops, I shot my junk off again. Lat says, okay, I love Jay again. Love to hear that. Well, thank you. I don't want you going away thinking that I don't want you to be mad at me. Oh my God, you made my night, Jay, laughing so hard. What's up, damn Yell? I love that name. I'm glad I can get you guys to chuckle. I mean, in the most serious of times, because we want to bring Nancy home, but we're looking at this footage and we're seeing the mistakes that they made. And what can you do but laugh or cry?
His perspective, being a lone actor.
Now there is the specter of Mexican cartel involvement, but after speaking to Border Patrol officers and experts in the area, I don't buy it. Cartels usually target people within Mexico. Can anybody on this panel name a single U.S. citizen taken from the U.S. by the cartels? Obviously, no. So I've noticed in cartel schemes, they typically correspond to local events, local extortion plots, business dealings, drug issues. To Brian Fitzgibbons, do you agree or disagree? You have rescued people out of Mexico. Does this have any resemblance?
I love that she's asking about this because this will put a lot of this to bed. What's up, Carissa? Good to see ya. Ray says, yep, my ring. I just changed mine. Exactly. And most of the time, you just put a solar panel on there and you don't have to charge it. But the people that don't, you got to take it off to charge it. It's easy to slide on and it's easy to slide off. But I tell you, make sure if you got the Ring doorbell or any of those, just pay the damn service. All right, the damn service will save somebody's life or get somebody arrested. Just pay for the cloud footage. All right, what the hell is he doing? I don't know. I don't know. What's up, Cynthia? Better late than never. All right, let's hear what he says about if this has to do with the cartel or Mexican kidnapping.
To a cartel job?
Not at all, Nancy. The primary reason is just like you said. This is a U.S. citizen, high profile in nature. This is going to draw an incredible amount of. It has drawn an incredible amount of media attention and an incredible amount of unwanted attention to the cartel from the U.S. federal government. The second point that I'm going to make is all the hallmarks of a typical cartel ransom and kidnapping ransom operation are not being met here. There would be a clear and sophisticated way to pay. They would want to be able to cash out easily and make that process very seamless.
Exactly. Point blank, period. That's all you got to say about that. They want to make it seamless. They want their money. They don't want to have some hideout bunker where they've got an 84-year-old lady strapped to a chair and shoot, it's time to feed her dinner. Oh, it's breakfast time again. Oh, it's time to take your pills.